Hey guys, how's it going? This is Seth, retipster.com, and in this video, I'm going to show you how you can build an amazing land website with Pebble. So Pebble is actually formerly known as REI Conversion, and I actually was fortunate enough to communicate and work a lot with Jesse when he first started REI Conversion and put together his first website templates for buying and selling vacant land. What's fortunate about that is that I was able to give him a lot of the things that I was doing on my website, the things that I found were working really well, like the submission form and just the design and what to say. And he did an amazing job of taking that information and implementing it very well, better than I was even implementing it. And over the years, as the company has evolved, he's made other updates and made it even better than that. So as far as I'm concerned, and as far as I know, this company is pretty much the authority when it comes to making just amazing looking, high quality websites that convert specifically for land flippers. So REI Conversion has evolved a lot over the years. Now they've rebranded to Pebble, and Pebble is no longer just a website making company. It's actually a very comprehensive lead tracking system, almost like a CRM system that can do a ton of stuff. Send out your direct mail campaigns, track all your leads, organize your due diligence. And the reason this is so important is because it fits like a glove with your website. So when people come to your website and submit their information, it goes right into the Pebble tracking system. So it automates a lot of this stuff for you, which is amazing. I'm not going to get into all of that stuff in this video, but what I'm going to focus on in this particular overview is how to put together your website if you're going to use something like Pebble. And something I'll say, with all the changes that have happened to Pebble over the years, now websites are basically like an add-on to everything else they do. So to even use their websites at all, you have to be a Pebble subscriber, which means there's a monthly fee and you get access to a whole lot of stuff beyond your websites. The reason I mention this is because Pebble is kind of like the BMW version of getting a land website up and running. There are definitely cheaper ways to get this done, but those ways involve a lot more hassle, especially if you don't know how to build websites. I mean, you can absolutely do it for less money. It's just going to take a lot more headache to get to the end product. And the end product probably won't look as good as what Pebble can do anyway. So depending on who you are, Pebble may or may not make sense for you, but if you're somebody who does have the budget for it, this is pretty much the best, fastest, and easiest way that I know of to get an amazing website up and running. Because one of the big changes that they've made over the years is that they do like 90% of the work for you now. Like they literally build the whole thing, they put it all in there. All you have to do is provide like your logo, your basic company information, and then get into the website once it's already created and change some of the specific stuff to your company, like FAQ information and all that. But otherwise, everything is pretty much made for you. So you don't have to spend a whole lot of time, messing around with that stuff. And they handle all the hosting, and it covers all the plugins. So like nothing's going to break on you. It's monitored 24/7. Your website's not going to get hacked. None of that stuff. So if you really want like the best land buying and selling website that money can buy, that's what Pebble is. And that's what we're about to dive into. So if you want to work with Pebble, all you got to do is go here to the homepage. By the way, RE Tipster does have an affiliate link for Pebble. If you want to help support RE Tipster and get the best website you can possibly get, click on that link. I'm going to have it beneath this video. And once you land on the page, you can go up here to pricing. And there's a few different pricing options you can choose from here. So solo is if you're just like one person, you don't have a team yet, you're just getting started, it's just you, then that probably makes the most sense. Team, I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory. If it's you plus a few other people, whether it be VAs or a business partner or something like that, it just lets more than one person get into it. And as you can see, the price isn't that much different between the two. So you sort of have to self-select which one you are. For the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to go with solo. Go ahead and click on this. And remember, what we're doing here is we are signing up for a Pebble subscription so we get access to the whole direct mail, lead tracking system, all that stuff. So this is way more than just building a website. And in addition to signing up for Pebble, we can also select these add-ons. And these add-ons are the two types of websites. Land Leads, that's basically a selling website or a website that's created for the purpose of collecting leads from motivated sellers who want to sell their property. They can visit your website, fill out all the information, and you can collect it that way, basically just saving you a whole lot of time. You can send out automated offers this way. I've done it this way for years. It's awesome. And Land List, this is a selling website. So once you have the properties in your inventory and you're trying to sell them, this is kind of like the online showroom where you can list those things for sale with with pictures and description, beautiful property listings, and sell them through that type of website. And I find both to serve a pretty important purpose. So for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to sign up for both. And also notice here, you can pay for this monthly or annually. If you do pay for it annually, the price goes down by $10 a month per website. So just keep that in mind. You can do whatever you want to do. I'm going to go ahead and do monthly for this one. Also keep in mind, this is going to start with a free 14-day trial. So if you start this whole process and you decide like, this isn't helpful, I hate this isn't working, anything like that, you're not locked in until after that 14 days. You don't necessarily need to hesitate on whether or not this is going to work for you, because you can find out yourself before you have to pay for anything. And you don't have to do all the work of setting it up yourself. So once that's all filled in, we're going to fill out our information here and go ahead and click purchase. Alrighty, now we got a nice little video to watch here. Let's check this out.
Hey, how's it going? My name is Jesse here, co-founder of Pebble, and I wanted to say thank you for trusting your land business with us. It means the world to us. Now that you signed up for Pebble, there are two things you need to do next. First of all, we need to actually get your site set up. And in order to do that, we actually need to learn a little bit more about your land business. So what you're going to do is hit the button below this video, and you'll be brought to a form where you can fill out information about your business, and we can actually start setting up your website. After that, in about 1 to 2 business days, my team will reach out to you on what to do next, and that's specifically pointing your domain. That's the web address for your website. Not to worry, you're in good hands, even if you're not tech savvy. All right, so number 2, after you filled out a form, you'll be redirected right into Pebble. That's our land management system, and it's going to walk you through on setting up your account. Not only that, it's also going to walk you through on setting up your first mailing campaign. You're going to see how easy it is to set up your mailing campaigns and bring in your data into Pebble. All right, one more thing I do want to mention is to make sure you check your email, because I'm going to send you what we call our success guide. It's going to walk you through on things like customizing your website to learning the workflow of Pebble. All right, so 2 things you need to do is hit the button below this video, complete the site setup form, let my team reach out to you, and then start setting up Pebble right after that.
So just a few key things he touched on there. First of all, the domain. So if you don't already have a domain name, you can actually get a pretty good deal on at Namecheap. And REtipster does have an affiliate link with Namecheap. If you want to check it out, it's just retipster.com/Namecheap. I've got probably like 30 different domain names that I just store in Namecheap, including REtipster. Pretty much every domain that I own is all right here. It's just a really nice place to keep all those things. It's got a really easy to use interface, and I can actually show you more about how this works later on in this video. So if you don't already have a domain, you can check out Namecheap. You just have to go up here to domains and go to domain name search and start searching for whatever domain you want to see if it's available. Or if you already do have a domain name somewhere, whether it's with GoDaddy or HostGator or Bluehost or wherever, you could just get in there and redirect where that is pointing to when you get to that step in the process. So just quick note on domain names. And then also the success guide that Jesse mentioned just a second ago. That's also going to be an important part of getting your website like completed and tweaked and tuned up just the way you want it before you start showing it to the world. And the other thing he mentioned is to fill out the information form, which we're going to do right now. So let's go ahead and do that. So basically you just need to provide some basic details about our company so that they can get started on building this thing. So let's go ahead and fill this out. So there's our owner details. Now website details. Let's fill in this stuff quick. So which theme and skin would you like for this site's setup? So whether you're doing a buying or a selling website, there's a few different versions of how it can look. So however you want that to look, you can select that right here. And just to give you a quick look at what these skins are referring to here, we're going to go up here to features and then click on websites. And in this section, we can see what these different themes look like. So for land leads, again, this is the buying website version. So if we click on this, this is the classic theme, and we can see what this looks like here. This is the version that I've used for a long time. It works great. The nice thing about it is that it's all just one single page that people can scroll down, so they don't have to go anywhere. They can just scroll down. Or we can do this land leads bold theme. This is one I actually haven't played around with much. It's basically the same kind of thing, just set up a little bit differently. And the nice nice thing about having different options to choose from is that you don't have to look like every other person who uses Pebble. If you want your website to look unique, you can pick from a different theme. And even once you do pick the theme, you can also change like the pictures and the colors and the video if you want. So there's plenty of options to customize this even after you pick the theme that you want. And there's also this one right here. This one is called Contour, I believe. And this one looks really sharp. I think if I could start over today, I'd probably pick this one. And I don't know that there's any real reason behind that other than just personal preference. I just like the way this one looks, but obviously it's up to you. And then lastly, there's this one. This looks like a brand new theme. And I guess that's another thing just to point out is that Pebble is constantly innovating and making things better. A lot of companies like this, frankly, don't do that. So, I think I'm going to go with the Land Leads Contour theme just because I think it looks cool, but it's up to you. Whatever you want to do, I think they're all solid choices. So I'm going to click on the contour skin. And also keep in mind, this is where you are deciding whether to build a buying or a selling website. If I were to pick any of these that said REI Land List, that means I'm choosing a selling website. So just be sure you understand which type you are signing up for right now. So now we can scroll down here. And if we already have our domain through Namecheap or some other place, we can put that right in here. So in my case, I actually don't have a domain name picked out for this yet. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. If you don't have a domain name yet, it would, in most cases, probably be whatever the name of your business is. However, in some cases, your business name may already be taken for like the .com or the .net or whatever you want. So in those cases, you could either do a different extension, and maybe we'll have to do that here with this one that we're going to pick. So I'm going to start with Summit Properties. It's highly likely this one is not available, but we're just going to give it a shot, see what happens. And it looks like if we wanted to buy summitproperties.com, that would be almost $34,000. No, thank you. That's something you're probably going to find anytime you're using common words or a short domain is that the .com is either already taken, or if it is available, it's a fortune to buy it. So just don't play that game. It's totally not worth it. Something else we could do, and something nice about Namecheap, is that it shows you a lot of other options that include the words Summit Properties. If .com is not available, you might find something here that works, or you might not. So for example, we could do, summitproperties.pro, which would be $398 per year. That's very, very cheap. Or summitproperties.biz or .us. We could also go up here and click on Explore More. And once we open up that, we could go up here and maybe click on Real Estate, because that's the industry we're in. And it will show us some other options that could possibly work for us, like .land. There you go. $11.98 per year for that one. So summitproperties.land. Now, when we're signing up for this, one big thing to keep in mind is that with Pebble, they handle a lot of this stuff, including the SSL certificate. You don't need to worry about hosting or web hosting or any of this other stuff. All we're getting is the domain, because everything else is handled for you by Pebble. That's one of the really nice things about working with Pebble, is that they kind of eliminate a lot of those extra expenses for you. So all we're getting is the domain. Go ahead and check out here. I'm going to set this to auto renew just so that the domain name automatically renews, just in case I forget to do that. Domain privacy, I always have that turned on. It's free. I'm not sure why you wouldn't do that. So I'm going to check that. And then we're going to confirm the order. Okay, so now we've got our domain, and in a minute, once we get a little bit further, we're going to go over here to manage this domain and then set up our name servers and DNS, but we're not quite there yet. First, we got to finish up this site setup. So I'm going to go ahead and put in summitproperties.land and then email setup. Are you going to use a brand new email? Probably should, but at this point, I'm not going to worry about that yet. Then website business name, I'll put that in here. Then business phone number, I'll put that here as well. And then business email, and owner's name, and then business profile description. We'll just put something generic in here. I'm gonna go grab a picture of myself and upload that here. Okay, got that all set. Click next here. And then do you need us to connect your REI Pebble buyer seller inbox to your site? So this is something you're probably going to want to do if you're planning to use Pebble for your actual CRM system, so to speak. If that is something that you're going to do, then I would say yes. And then agreements. But you can obviously read this if you want for some nice material to put you to sleep, or you can just go ahead and check this and move on. Check these things and keep going. And it looks like it's going to take 2 to 3 business days to set this thing up. It's good to know. Go ahead and click submit, and then we will put this thing on pause, and I'll pick it back up when we're to the next step here. Okay, so we're back. It's been a couple days, but this email came through less than 24 hours after I submitted all that information. And this is a message from Pebble customer support, basically just giving me the custom DNS information so that I can get into my domain name through Namecheap and tell it where to point so that it's pointing to the right place. So if we go back over here to Namecheap, and remember this was kind of where we put things on hold earlier in this video, and I'm going to go over here to my domain list, where I can find summitproperties.land that I just bought earlier in this process. Go ahead and click on manage. And right down here where it says name servers, we're going to click on this drop down and click on custom DNS. And if we go back here to this email, we're going to see the two things that we need to place in these two placeholders here. So it says enter the following name servers. So we're going to copy and paste this first one and then go here and paste it right there. And then we're going to grab the other one, copy this, and then paste it right below, just like that. And then we're going to click this check mark to save it. And that's pretty much all we have to do. So now that this step is done, we're going to put this on hold again and pick it back up when we get the next email from Pebble telling us that our website is ready to go. All right, so we are back. 3 business days have passed and I got this email here. We can quick take a look at what has happened and what the progress is and what we have to do next. If we go ahead and click on the URL to our website, this was the URL that I purchased through Namecheap and submitted during the whole onboarding process. We click on this, we can see our actual live website. Like this is currently live on the internet. This is what a person would see if they went to our website address. And you'll notice if we go back up here to the top, or really just as you're scrolling through this definitely looks like a finished product, but a lot of the stuff is like placeholder text that still needs to be edited or adjusted by me or you in your case, if you get your website through Pebble. Some of it is like ready to go as it is. Like for example, a lot of this text probably wouldn't need to be changed at all unless you wanted to. There's also this video here that you can just get for free if you use Pebble. Granted, every other Pebble gets this exact same video. So if you want something unique, you would have to create that yourself. But then you'll start to see stuff like this. Add a highlight sentence of a testimonial in this quoted section. So obviously you don't want to just keep this text there. Same thing with down here. You would want to actually add something that's real here. You can just kind of scroll through here and just take a closer look and you'll see what, if anything, needs to be changed. There's also this FAQ section. And you'll notice it's mentioning Pebble with no real answers here. So you'll want to edit that as well. And then down here, so we see this was the image that I submitted in the setup process along with my email address and phone number and my name. And this was the little blurb I put in there. So they dropped that in there for me. So how do we update this stuff? And how does this website actually work once we have everything updated? So let's go back here to this email here. So there's this thing called the success guide and the knowledge base that was mentioned earlier on in this process as we were submitting our stuff. Go ahead and click on this. So this is basically just a library of content explaining how to get into the site and how to edit anything and everything in the site. So there's lots of stuff you can review there. And then the knowledge base looks like more technical information. Some of this stuff applies more to the selling website stuff, which isn't what we're setting up here. We're setting up a buying website. So this isn't all applicable to what we're doing right now, but there's a whole lot of stuff in here as well, which you could also search for if you wanted to just type in what you're looking for. So I'm just going to cut right to the chase. I'm not going to go through all this knowledge base stuff with you. I'm just going to show you what I would be doing if I was trying to tweak my website. So if we go here and click on this link, we can see all of the websites that we currently have. And currently it's just this one, summitproperties.land. And this is built on WordPress. So what we want to do is go ahead and log into the WordPress site, and I'll show you how to get around and change the things that we need to change. So when you get to this WordPress login screen, what you're going to want to do is go ahead and click on lost your password. And the username that we have is the same email address we used when we signed up and got this process started. So whatever email address that was, just go ahead and put that in here and then click get new password, and it's going to email you with some prompts to get a new password. And then you can go ahead and log in from there. So we'll go to this email that just came in. We'll go ahead and click on this link and we can set up our new password right here. You can do something crazy or do something that you're actually going to remember. Let's save this. Okay, now let's go back and log in and click on this. And it looks like the email address that it is assigning to our website is summitproperties.land@reiconversionmail.com. So by default, this email address is going to forward to whatever your home base email is, whichever one you use when you signed up. However, if you want to, you can update this so that it skips this whole redirection process and just goes directly to your actual inbox. I'll show you how to do that really quick if you want to make that update. So we'll go ahead and click this update button. And then when we get to this next screen, we'll go over here, put my real email address in there, and go ahead and save changes. And you'll notice already we are now logged into our WordPress dashboard. So the first thing that we want to do, if we want to go ahead and change things on the home page, is go over here and click on Pages. And remember, this website is, for the most part, just one big page. There is a blog you can set up as well, and also a separate page where a person can submit their property information to you. But probably 95% of the traffic that's going to hit your site is just going to see that home page. Unless you go nuts with building a blog and creating a lot of content, then that part of your site could grow pretty big as well with a lot of different blog posts. But we're not going to get into that in this video. We're just going to focus on the home page for now. We can go ahead and click Edit with Elementor. And Elementor is a plugin that controls a lot of the way things are displayed on your website. It's actually pretty cool. And we can really see our website right here, right now. And when we go ahead and scroll down here, we can click on any one of these things and start editing them if we want to. So for example, if I click on this right here and start making those edits right here, we could put in whatever the testimonial is. So you would obviously want to talk to a real person who has worked with your company. Whatever they say, just type that out right here. You get the idea. And if you do have an image, you can click on this and you can go over here and either trash this and upload a new one. Also keep in mind, if you ever get stuck or confused about anything in this process, Pebble support is just an email away. So if for some reason this is not your cup of tea and you just don't know how to do this, you don't want to do this, you just find it confusing, it's okay. Remember, as a premium subscriber to this service, in return for that higher price, you can expect some actual help when you need help. Whereas a lot of cheaper options, you are literally on your own. Nobody's going to help you if you can't figure it out. So if you ever do get stuck on anything, just let them know where you're stuck and they'll point out the right thing you have to do. So similarly, if we wanted to change the text here, we just click on that and we can see over here, this is where we can highlight the text and change it up. And that applies to really all of this stuff, all the images, all the text, all the icons. And then when we get down here to this FAQ section, same thing. You just go ahead and click on whatever you want to change and edit. You can go over here and you can edit the text however you want to do it. So I'm not going to get too far into the weeds with how to tweak every little word and character on this page because I think you kind of get the idea and it would make this video way longer than it needs to be. But there is one other important thing that I want you to see about Pebble that is really, really cool that makes the user experience a lot better for whoever does visit your website to submit their property information. So I'm going to go ahead and click update here and then get out of this section and show you how this works on the live site. And if we go back here and just view the live site as it is, so up until this point, what we have here is just a really pretty website, which is obviously a huge plus. A website that looks really good, it gives a lot of helpful information and is functional, but it goes far beyond that. So as I mentioned earlier, Pebble is not just a website service anymore. It's actually much more than that, and websites are just part of the overall picture. The really cool thing about this is that a lot of times the people who are going to be showing up on this website are people that you have sent mail to. And in that mail piece, you're telling them to come to your website. And also in that mail piece, a lot of times you're giving them some kind of a reference code or something that they can use to identify their property when they respond to you. So for example, if one of your motivated seller leads lands on this website and they can put in their basic information right here. So we'll just make up a fictitious person right now, put in a fake phone number here, and then a fake email address. And once they click on this and click get your cash offer, so just by doing that, they've already submitted their information to your system. You can have it emailed to you right then and there, or just have it stored in your database so that you have that person's contact information. Even if they abandon this form and close the window and leave, you still have that. So you could email them back or call them back and say, hey, I see you submitted this stuff. Let's talk more. But ideally, they're going to keep going. And on this next screen here, they see a place where they can enter in their offer code. So remember, if you sent them a piece of mail, they should have that offer code, which was generated through the Pebble lead tracking system. And all they would have to do is enter that code right here. I've actually got like a little sample in my Pebble account here that I just created. I'll just show you what that looks like if a person were to enter that code. So this person's code is 02004. Go ahead and click find your property. And this is like next level amazing stuff because Pebble can track the location of their property and it will show the property right there to that person. And in this case, this particular lead actually had 2 properties. Something else Pebble does, I'm not going to get super into it here in this video, but if you have a lead who owns multiple properties, in times past, what we normally would have done is delete those duplicates from our list because we don't want to send 10 letters to the same person. But with Pebble, what it will do is it will take those 10 properties or 2 properties or however many properties they own and combine it all into one letter with one offer on all of those properties. And then when that person comes and submits their code here, it will show all of those properties in one place. So for example, if they said yes and then go to the next screen, this lead and all the information that they fill out here will be connected to that property code and those properties in your Pebble lead tracking system. So it just connects a lot of the dots for you and eliminates a lot of manual work that you would otherwise have to do on your own if you didn't have a system like Pebble connecting these dots for you. And even if you get a lead who you didn't send mail to and they don't have a code, all they'd have to do is click, I don't have an offer code, and go to the next screen here and then enter in the county and state and parcel number and their acreage. So I'm just going to do that quick to show you how it looks. So let's do Oakland County, Michigan. We'll paste in that parcel number, put the acreage in here and click next. And then similarly, they would fill out a lot of the same stuff and click submit. And this would just create a new lead in your system that doesn't have that reference code attached to it yet, but you'd get all the exact same information. And once this is submitted, you'll get an email in your inbox and the information will be stored in Pebble, and you can then continue following through with the lead and collecting your due diligence and storing all that stuff with Pebble, which again is beyond the scope of this video. But I just want to point that out just to help you understand, like, this is more than just a website because it's integrated with Pebble. This goes like way above and beyond what you would normally expect if you're just trying to cobble together your own website on the cheap with WordPress and whatever theme you're working with. And that way can certainly work too. And it's way cheaper to do it that way, but you also miss out on a lot of these nice integrations and automations that Pebble has to offer with a much more comprehensive system for tracking leads in a land flipping business. So anyway, I hope in this video I was able to convey the quality and the ease of use and just the sophistication that you get when you're working with Pebble. REtipster does have an affiliate link with Pebble. Again, if you want to check it out and help support retipster.com, that's retipster.com/Pebble. And if you don't decide to use Pebble and want to use something else completely, I wish you the best with whatever you decide to work with. Thanks again for watching. I'll talk to you again in the next video.